So before starting, I would like to say that you should come to this DaVinci Resolve title over here. Click on it, go to preferences, and here in project save and load, you can see that there is an option for live save and as well as for project backups, and you should check them both, and you can select your backup location. Cause I was just recording the second part of the particles explaining video, and my projects and my DaVinci Resolve just got stuck. It was loading, and I just closed it. And when I opened it again, and I lost all the data. So please, guys, turn on your quick save and as well as live save and as well as your project backups. So welcome back, and here we are in the part two of our particle series explain. And in this one, I'll show you some examples of how to use pBounce and as well as pAvoid nodes, which will be useful to adding some effects. I'll show you both all of these. And the next thing, which is that if we had some time, and also explain some of the rest uh, nodes which are there in particle tools. And you can see all the particle tools. So going to this effects and tools, here you have particles, and you can see all the nodes over here. And obviously I'm here in my Fusion page, and I'll go to this toolbar, and here you can see I have explained all the basics in my first video. Please go and watch that. I'm dragging this particle emitter, and I had this made out also, and after that I'll add this particle render, and after particle render I also add render 3D. Why? I have explained all of these in my previous video. Please go check that out. I have explained all the basics, why you have to add particle emitter and then this pre-render, and why you have to add this render 3D, what's the basic functions of particle emitter, and all of these things. So in order to create something with particle emitter and particle bounce, first let me just see this particle render by clicking and dragging to the viewer, and you can see we have this particle emitter. And in this emitter, I'll change its region from sphere to rectangle. As you guys know, I'll increase its size a bit, maybe 2.4, 2.4. And you can see we have something like this. I'll change its X rotation to -90 and bring it a little upwards to somewhere like here. Okay, that's good. And I'll go to controls and go to velocity and increase its velocity. And if I'll play, you can see that it's going in wrong direction. I want it to fall down so that we have a particle range shot, you can say. And here I will do one thing. I'll go to this angle and here increase it to 270. And if you like, by chance you have something like this, I want to zoom it here, instead of just manually doing it, click on your keyboard key, which is F, and you will be snapped to your desired object. And even for specific snapping, click on the between of that object and now hit F. First hit Control F to your viewer and then F on it, and now by holding Alt you can move your 3D workspace. And again, I have told all these things in my previous video, so please go check that out. Sorry for the noise. So now we have this kind of a rain shower over here, and now I'll hit shift press spacebar and add a pTurbulence. Now I'll increase its Z strength and increase its density also, and I'll increase its Z strength to something like 0.835. Okay, now after our pTurbulence, obviously I'm gonna add a P bounce node, because that's the node on which we are making the video this about. And I'll click on this region. Now instead of line, I'll click on this rectangle, and let's again hit F to snap to that thing. And in here, as you can see, that our turbulence is acting a little like it has a strong force. So I'll go to it again and increase X and Y strength also, but I'll reduce my density, or maybe decrease my Z strength value, and as well my X and Y. That was a I think a mistake which I did. Or maybe we can increase it just a tad bit. See, I want some kind of turbulence to happen, but not much like this. And we can go to strength over life and click here and bring this down and select both of these. I'll hit Control A and hit S, Shift S. Okay, that's not working. I don't know why. Shift A then Shift S. I don't know why that's not working. I just want to make it busier so that we have this kind of an effect. Okay, now we're done with our turbulence. Let's go to our pBounce node. And in pBounce node, we will use a shape 3D and go to this region and choose bitmap. Now I have chosen this bitmap, and because of this bitmap, as you can see that we have this little green triangle which says region bitmap. Okay, so bitmap, it will just basically map that image or whatever we have over here, and we can connect it. And instead of that point, sorry, instead of that region which we have over here, like for example, if I'll select this rectangle, so instead of rectangle we'll have that kind of shape. Okay, I'll simply show you. I'll not go in detail on explaining bitmap. I'll click this shape 3D, right click and put it over here. Okay, sorry, instead of bitmap I'll choose mesh, and here you can see we have this pink output over here which is mesh input. So we'll take our mesh and join it to our pBounce, and now in our shape 3D we'll do one thing, that we will change this to, I'll take my shape 3 to the viewer, load it, click F, and now we have this plane. So instead of plane, let me just change it to this torus, increase my subdivisions to 100 so that it's smoothen out. I'll click here for lights and shadows. Now it's light, you can even go to shadows by clicking over here, whatever. And then I'll come over here after p-render, add a merge 3D node and bring the shape 3D to this merge also, so that we can see both of them together. And I think yes, it's working quite well. I'll open this background and add a rectangular mask, not an ellipse mask. I'll bring it to the viewer. In rectangular, I'll increase this corner radius, decrease its height to maybe 2.25 and keep its width as it is. Now I'll go to background and change its color to, first of all I'll change its type to gradient, change its gradient type to radial instead of that linear one, and we have this kind of radial effect. And I'll change its color from white to this blue, and this also white to purplish kind of. I'll just decrease its value so that it's a little bit dark, maybe more. And we will have this kind of an effect, or maybe change its gradient type from radiant to reflect. I think that will look better. Sorry for the noise. And I think that does looks better. Maybe somewhere around here, something like that basically. And we can even play with this value, maybe add something new over here, maybe make it blue. I don't know, you can just play with it and make it whatever you want. Make it look like that. Increase my green a little bit, bring it a little closer to my purple value, as well as this to here. And if I'll increase it so it will look something like this, and if I'll decrease it so it will look something like this, maybe make it a little more thinner, yeah, maybe something like that. Okay, I'll not waste my time just cleaning or making better this. Okay, I'll make a copy of it, paste it over here, or what I'll do is instead I'll make a copy of this rectangular, copy, paste, paste it on this rectangle, and instead of solid, I will hit border width, or I'll not paste it here. I'll add a merge node, put this here, add this to the foreground, background of this, and then copy my background, make it white, add this here, then add a mask on it, view this merge, and then take this mask and add it to the rectangle merge node so that it doesn't fall out of it. Take this rectangular. This is basically a technique which I learned few days ago, and go to rectangular and increase the soft edge. Now you can see that you have this kind of an effect. You have this kind of white edge basically. I'll go to my rectangle, and again you can just play with your border width. Okay, it's totally up to you. Maybe increase my border width a little more, and now you can see you have this kind of I don't know what to call it. And maybe we can come back to this background and make this blue a little darker and increase this red. Okay, so we have something like this. Now I'll join this to p emitter, but how to join this? As I told you, you'll go to region obviously to see which region will it fall in. I'll click merge over here. Okay, so now we have this emitter here. Now instead of this rectangular, what I'll do is, see, we have this rectangle over here, right? Sorry, not in region. We'll go to style. Style is what the particles are. So right now the particles are point, and we don't need point. You can see that we have bunch of things over here. We don't have mesh over here. If we had mesh, then DaVinci Resolve was fire. But these are the limitations of DaVinci Resolve Fusion page. Right now we can't add 3D objects as particles. Instead, what you can do is you should even use 3D softwares dedicated to these kind of stuff like Blender, Maya, Houdini, etc. etc. You should use those softwares for this kind of stuff, not DaVinci Resolve. Okay. So again, coming here and changing its style from point to bitmap. Now we have this bitmap, and because of that, we have this yellow output which says style bitmap. Now we will, yeah, because in this bitmap you can add any kind of image, okay, which you have, but we'll add this on. I'll make a dual view. Sorry, merge. Okay, and let's add it, because this is also an image. As you can see, we have this background which is alpha'd out, and that's what we wanted. I'll add a XF transform node after merge by hitting shift plus spacebar and adding it, and you can see we have some of these particles. I'll bring it a little further, somewhere around here, maybe somewhere around here, where they are falling to this torus or donut, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we have this elasticity. Now we should play with bounce. Maybe we should reduce the elasticity to somewhere like 0.2, increase its roughness, and also a little bit of variance. I would love that, and reseed it. Now it's rendering. It will take some time to render. I'll right click here, uncheck motion blur, right click here, uncheck high quality, right click, check proxy and auto proxy. I'll come to the first frame and play it again. Let's see how it goes. So as you can see, the particles are falling. And by the way, there's a mistake which I did, which is I'll change its resolution from full HD to 200. Same thing over here. Uncheck auto resolution and change its resolution from full HD to 200. That's why it was taking so long to load. And I think that This looks nice. I'll go to my rectangle mask again and increase its width to somewhere like maybe this. Let's see how does this look. Okay, I actually increased the width of wrong rectangle. I'll delete this, copy, paste this again on here, remove my solid and increase the border width a little bit and increase the soft edge. You should play with it. As I told you, increase border width just a tad bit more and increase soft edge a little bit more so that you have this kind of white border over here. Okay, now we have this, and in transform I'll reduce its size to 0.5 maybe. I think that looks nice. And now if we play, that will be much faster than before. That was because of the resolution, which was very high at that time, and instead of full HD we'll go for 200 by 200 pixels, and that will make its resolution a little bit lower. So right now, as you can see, that there is a mistake that we did again, which is that we need to change the shape of our torus. We will make it a little bit smaller, or maybe what we can do is we can even reduce it to further like 50 by 50. I'll come here again, 50 by 50. And now as you can see, this is looking pretty bad, but if we'll increase its size to somewhat around here, maybe reduce it to here, hit control S, save it, and I think our proxy resolution is at quarter. No, it's at full. Delete this, again copy this, paste it, put it here, remove solid, increase border width. Maybe we don't need this time because it's so small and so actually we needed that. I'm sorry, because we had that special white background kind of effect on that. I'll come here, decrease my border width somewhere like that, increase my soft edge. I think that looks nice. And what we can do now is we can change the shape of our torus, something like that, and making it to 0.2. I think that looks nice. Now if I'll play, so this will look something like, come particles, attack the torus. Just kidding. Well, actually it's taking that much time because there are too many particles. And now as you can see, they are bouncing and falling off, and we need to increase its size even further. I'll make it to 0.2. I think that is actually, I'll not reduce the size from this transform node. What I'll do is I'll go to this particle emitter, and here on this tile we'll come to size controls, and here decrease its size to, I'll come to this transform and decrease its size to 0.5, and then decrease its size to maybe something like that, 0.05, and increase its size variance so that we have some differentiation between all the particles. And I think that looks good, just a little, not that much. And size to velocity also. Oh, sorry, I'll decrease that. I'll not change that. I'll make it as it is. Okay, and lastly fade out just a tad bit, and let's bring it a little downwards like that, because okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll come to my color controls, and here in color variance I'll uncheck lock color variance. Because of this background, I'll change its color to solid color again, make it blue, I think now it will work. I'll go down. Okay, so it will look something like that. And what if I'll make it white? I'll decrease it a bit. Maybe increase it a bit. I don't know, guys, what I'm doing right now because I don't know anything about this color variance, like how to have this variance in color. I think that this is looking nice. Okay, I'll go to controls because it's not looking good at all. They are having the same axis rotation. So I'll go here, change its x variance, x rotation, y variance, y rotation, z variance, z rotation. And now we should have something like this. Yeah, and maybe change it even a little more. I think that is looking nice. Let's do one thing. Let's come to shape 3D. I'll hit shift plus spacebar and add pTurbulence over here and add, sorry, instead of fast noise I typed soft noise. Okay, and here if I'll see that in my first node, so I'll go to gradient and in here I'll bring a very low value, like very dark, very chocolatey kind of value. It sounds bad. I don't know why. And one value which will be this light, sorry, light yellowish orangish kind of. Yeah, this one. So you'll have a gradient of this. Okay. Now I'll come to my noise, increase my detail, increase my contrast, decrease my brightness, increase my scale to maybe like that, or maybe decrease it, decrease my detail, maybe decrease my contrast. Just play with it. Change the angle. Okay, so this is a single fast noise. I'll remove it for once, sorry. I'll add another merge and I'll copy this and paste it over here. Let's add second fast noise which will be our bigger chunks of oil, you can say, because that's what we are adding right now. I'll come and see first. Yeah, let's make it something like that. Okay, now in our second chunk, I'll increase the contrast and decrease my scale, decrease the detail, increase contrast, increase detail about here, decrease my scale again, maybe hit discontinuous, maybe inverted. Oh, that works so fine. Okay, so I'll hit discontinuous and inverted. Now we have this kind of an image. I'll go to merge and on here I'll click screen or maybe dissolve or maybe multiply. Yeah, multiply works best. So I'll hit multiply. As you can see, we have these two maps, this fastest maps. I'll come here, take this map from merge, add it to my pTurbulence, and here you can see we have this map over here. I'll also add bump map. I'll type height. Okay, maybe bump. I'll just type bump map. Click diffuse, right click and bump map material. And in here, just click on bump and click bump map. And you can see that you have this kind of thing. And click on wrap. That's it. You can do this that much of the stuff in here. Go to pTurbulence now. Now if you'll see it. Maybe what we can do is we can click this height map over here I'll just come here. Can't we zoom in here? No, we can't. Let's change this height scale. You can see over here. Texture depth will be float 32, which is the highest quality. Filter size will be 5 instead of 3. Maybe let's increase the size and let's change filter size from 3 to 5. Okay, it will be 3. I'll decrease it. I'll just increase it just a tad bit, not too much. Okay, and in here I'll just keep everything as it is. Maybe increase height size bit more, something like that. Okay, so 7. Now if I click on my cooked orange, you can see we have this kind of an effect, and I think that it's doing this effect oppositely, which we don't want. We want this dark browns part to come outside. So what we can do here is maybe type -50. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so instead of luminance, I'll do max. Now maybe it will take the brown. No, it's not doing that. Maybe take average. Nope. Red, blue. Maybe that will work. Alpha. So it's taking this luminance values. So I'll do one thing. Come here, click Control C, then Control V. Sorry, I'll just add a color corrector after this, and I'll right click here, add this as diffuse. Now in this color corrector, I'll reduce saturation all the way to here. Now it will be just black and white. Okay, and now it will. It's still not working. I'll add a shift here. Maybe there's an invert node. Invert color, yeah, it is there. Yeah, now it's working. See, before inverting it was like this, after inverting it's like that, and we want it to work like this only. We want these brown parts to uh, to be little bumpy, you know. Yeah, so that's looking nice. Go to bump, maybe increase it a little bit more. I'll go to cook torrents. Yeah, that is looking really nice. Click on cook torrents. I'll go to specular, increase roughness to 1 because it's a bread. Go my refractive index to 1.45 because that's the physically accurate index for that. Go to shape 3D and now wait to render. Boom, it's looking something like this. I'll hit F again. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's looking good, and we can see that there is. Okay, so we have these cuts over here, which I didn't notice. I'll go here. I'll just quickly disable these nodes by hitting Control P just for a second, just to change this shape. I don't know why it's working like that. Why do we have this? Maybe because of lighting? Is it looking like this in our render also? Let me just add a camera to this merge. I'll come back. I'll go transform, hit use target, hit Y, see my render. I'll go to render and enable lighting shadows, enable this OpenGL rendering, and add a point light. Hit shift press spacebar, type point. light over here, and maybe bring my camera a little back, something like that. That's too much of back. I don't want that much. I think that is looking really good. Maybe increase it a little bit more. I'll go to controls, change my perspective to orthographic instead of perspective. Now I can just simply increase or decrease my scale. I'll increase it to something like this. I'll go to my point light, bring it downwards, change it to quadratic, increase my shadows to constant, change constant softness, non-transparent material linear depth. And now what I'll do is I'll decrease its intensity after that. First, I'll take this, copy, paste, and again join it to merge 3D. And let's change this position. I'll change this position to something like this maybe. I'll not make it in front, but yeah, I think that is looking great. I'll bring it a little closer, little upwards, somewhere around that. That is too close, I think. So maybe somewhere around here. And then again, I'll paste it. Copy this, paste it again to the merge. You can add many unlimited nodes to this merge. Click on this point light, move it from here to here. Instead, I'll bring it back here and make it closer so that it has some light over the back also. I'll bring it down, make it far away like that. Again, I'll hit a copy and a paste. Sorry. Copy, paste. Again, add it to the merge. We have so many point lights. So good arrangement of mine. Thank you, thank you. Just kidding. I'll bring it here. Maybe here. Yeah, I think that looks good. And a last, just on the top. Paste it, delete this merge. Paste in the over here. Sorry, where is the slide? Here it is. I'll bring it forward and bring it upwards somewhere around here. Now it will look good, maybe a little bit more above than this. It should look good at least. A little bit down. Yeah, that is looking nice. Bring it a little further. Add a glow. Increase its glow size to 15. Maybe blend it down a little bit. That is looking good. Maybe blend it down even further. Add a prism blur also. I'm adding these special effects right now because I wanted to see how they will look. And this will also give us a sense of accomplishment of something. Maybe increase the distance to somewhere like that. As you can see that we have this prism blur dot here. Wow, that's nice. Okay, whatever. And I think that we are done with it. We can do some more things. Come to the shape, Control C to copy that, Control V to paste it, and we have this shape one more time, and this time I'll again hit save. Sorry, I just forgot to hit save, and I can't risk it now. I'll make it solid, and as you can see I have proximate enable. I also have this. I should make it quarter instead of full. Yeah, so in here let's make the icing of this donut. Click on it. I'll add a fast noise. Okay, and then cook torrents obviously. Let me start it. Path here. I'll add a polygon tool over here. So that we have something like this. I'll come to my fast noise, and here I'll select this kind of really dark chocolatey color, because it's obviously it's chocolate. I don't know why it's so alphatic, if I'm saying this word correct. I'll go to my here and increase the scale. I'll again come to my polygon and refine it a bit. First I'll select all of it, hit sorry, I was hitting S, hit smooth. Then what you can do is take any one of these, and here you can just decrease the size a little bit, maybe increase it a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Increase it a bit more. Go to your shape. I'll hit F, and now on here reduce your latitude to wherever you like. uh Maybe somewhere like 180, and you need your angle obviously. Increase its radius just a little bit, like to point, I don't know how much. Okay, now let's go to fast noise and polygon. Let's animate it, make it like this. I'll hit control shit, and it's, oh my god. And here we are after doing all the changes that I could have done. I mean, this is DaVinci Resolve's 3D. How much can you expect from it? It's not Maya, Houdini, or Blender, something like that. This is the only I can do in Blender's, sorry, DaVinci Resolve's 3D. By the way, if you want Blender 3D tutorial, you can also comment down below. I can make tutorial on that too. And by the way, I have some also, but I think I haven't uploaded them. Whatever. I added some more point lights. If I show you, see this particle node is taking so much time to render. That's the problem. I mean, there are a lot of problems. There are so many limitations. I mean, you can use this. See, we have this kind of 3D workspace round. I have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7-point lights. I have this camera which is targeted to this object. This object is our bounce node. This is a particle bounce node. I think everything was recorded. Yeah, so the changes I made was uh, I came here on my, yeah, I came here. As you guys know, I made it a little big. I went to its image properties and uncheck this auto resolution and change this width to 3000 and height to 2000. And same with this, and then multiplied it with this merge node. And here I multiplied it, and then this was the basic diffuse color which is plugged into this Doughnut as diffuse material. Okay, as simple as that. I'll just make it a little big over here. Then we have this color corrector plugged in here. It's making it unsaturated or desaturated or monosaturated, whatever you want to call it. Okay, then we have this invert color so that it is inverted, and we have these cracks in it. Then with the help of this bump node, I extruded out its height map and joined it to its height map, obviously. And then we have this another color corrector which is coming from this color corrector to work as a roughness map. And I don't think it's working that pretty well, but whatever. It's again, it's DaVinci Resolve's Fusion. How much of 3D can you do in this? It's okay, you can do 3D stuff, but it's not a proper 3D software. Then we have the shape, obviously, my shape, and it is being displaced just a little with the help of this fast noise. Okay, and in this displace 3D, we have just a little bit of scaling over here. Same I have done with this. I went here, I made some changes to its chocolate or whatever you want to call it. It's not looking like chocolate, by the way, but still. And then in my pictories, I have this kind of my material, and here my roughness is 0.1 and refractive index is all the way up to 3, and same here. Refractive index is full to 3 and roughness is 0.2197. Okay, then in my shape 3D I have something like this. Well, that's because my latitude is 180, as simple as that. Then again I have some displacement with the help of this fast noise. It's very slight. I have increased x to 330 and my Y scale is 0 and brightness is 0.97, which is even in minus, and contrast and all the properties you can see there. And then with the help of this merge 3D2, we were able to mix both of these, and yeah, it is giving an illusion of that. Okay, we have some problem over here. I don't know why it was created, but we don't have camera viewing that side. So, and then that all of that is plugged into this particle bounce node. Okay, I'll just take all of these, put them up, take these, bring them up to, bring them down a little bit, not that high. Okay, and then I'll take all of these, hit shift plus spacebar, type underlay, hit enter, and now with F2 I'll type Doughnut, and I'll hit enter to all of these. I don't want to name any of that. Okay, so now it's here in our underlay, and we have this merge node extracted out from our underlay because we need to, if we need to change something, we can change that. Then here I'll bring it a little near, then hit shift plus spacebar and again hit underlay and type uh, beans or candies. Let candy. Okay. Then enter. We don't want to change the name of other things in there. Then this is a particle system. And again, enter. And this is our lighting system. Light and render. Sorry, I again put a wrong. Uh, Render 3D. I'll select all, shift plus spacebar, again underlay, F2, and right here, light and render. Again enter. Okay, and last, here you can add your all the OFX things. Okay, I'll hit merge. I'll click here, hit merge, and here I'll hit Control T to swap the inputs and bring a background node. Put it in my merge as background layer, and make it black. And now that's it. Wait till it's rendered. Yeah, now you're able to see that. And yes, now you can give it a render, and after a little render that should look really nice. I'll add a soft glow after it, and let's make its glow size to 15 and blend it to like 0.4 because it's gonna look very glowy. So instead of that, make it less glowy and wait for its render. It will look something like this. I'll reduce it even more to like 0.05, which is really less by the way, but I'll decrease its gain and make it 0.1 and hit Control S to save it. And let's wait for this to render. And yeah, it will look something like this, which is fine. The last thing which we can do is obviously adding some film grain. Film grain is the best. How can we forget that? I think I can remove prism blur. By the way, see these are looking so good. These are looking really good actually. And my prism blur is really low. Its distance is 0.006. Let me just increase it to 0.008. Just a little bit, not too much. And come to my film grain, increase its opacity to 1, decrease its texture to 0, same its softness to 0, and bring its grain size. Let's keep it as it is. Wait till it's render. Boom, now we should see it. Yeah, we can see a little bit of grain, but I want to increase it to 0.33. Again, wait for it to render. That's why I disable particles whenever I have to do these kind of things. I'll just wait for a moment. It should look like this now. And I think that is looking really great. I'll just decrease it to 275. I think 0.275 will look really great. I'll hit Control F2, fit the viewer, wait for it to render. This should reduce it a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's really nice. So yes, give this a little render and let's see what we come up with. And I rendered this like 4 to 5 times. and I'll show you each of those and why I rendered those 4 times. There was reason. I felt something was missing in each render, but at last I was able to do it. So let me show you the first render as it is. So this is the first render, and you can see that everything is working. But the thing which I don't like was that this has no gravity in it. Basically, there it was missing that force, which was not pulling it down. So for that, what I did was, I'll close it. I came here after pBounce. I added this p directional force, and I increased its strength to 0.2. It was default at 0.1. Okay, so I just did that, and the rest is the same and nothing else. And after that, the render which I got looked something like this. And here is you can see that it's looking good. Now it has that gravity which it was missing before, but still there's something which is missing. So that is that when these candies or whatever, when these are colliding with it, they are not rotating, like they are not spinning. So for that, I also did some things, and also there is no variance in it. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I'll come here on pBounce. In here, first of all, my elasticity was too high, and even my roughness was low. I increased it to 50. By the way, these are my final settings which I did. And what I did was I increased my spin just 2.51, and after increasing my spin I got something like this. And here as you can see we have that kind of spin, but I think that it's a lot because earlier I made that spin to maybe like 1 or 2, and still it was not looking that good. So then I focused on its collision properties basically, and then I got to know about that variance and elasticity. So I decreased that elasticity to all the way to 0, and that was wrong. You should not reduce elasticity to 0. You should maintain it somewhere around maybe like above 0 basically, and below 1. Okay, you should never do 0 or 1. It's like a roughness material thing. You should never change a roughness of a material to 0 to make it all the way sharp, or to 1 to make it all the way fuzzy. It's like that. And I also even increased the variance and increased my spin. Okay, this variance is basically for the roughness. This is for surface. Okay, so if I'll decrease this variance, so obviously there will be smooth surface, but if I'll increase it, then this will behave like the surface is rough. So if you'll increase it, then it will act as rough surface, and roughness also works like that. So roughness and variance work together. And surface motion, as I told you, it's basically like that your floor or whatever your bounce object is, that have some motion in it. Okay, so these all settings work together. If you got a perfect match, then you will have something like, and these are my final settings by the way. I just did these, and also I reduced my film grain a little bit because that was too much. And finally I was able to have this. And guys, I think that this is actually looking better, at least from those previous ones. And again, this is DaVinci Resolve. This is not a dedicated 3D software done for these kind of simulations or things. Okay, these are the things which you can roughly do to have an idea for some bigger concepts or bigger projects, or maybe just for your own personal things. It's not professional industry standard basically. I just wanted to say that you should instead use Houdini or some 3D softwares like these, which have some great great tools for simulations. Okay, and this is physics simulation, so I don't think that you should use DaVinci Resolve at it, but whatever, you have the tool, then you should know how to use it. And I think that's pretty much it for particle bounce. In the next one, I'll maybe use some more particles nodes. In this one, I told you about pTurbulence, pDisplace force, pDistance force, and particle bounce obviously itself, particle emitter, and that was pretty much it, I guess. P direction force. In the next one, we'll also see some more and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, watch my previous videos. And again, I'm telling you, if you want to do these kind of simulations, don't use DaVinci Resolve. Instead, use dedicated 3D softwares like Houdini. Blender is free. You can use Blender if you are using this because it's free. DaVinci Resolve free version. Instead, use Blender. Blender is free, and you can have a much better simulation than this. By the way, Blender is also limited, so you should use the best software, which is Houdini. Houdini is the best for any simulation which you want to do. Okay, so yeah, but you should start with Blender because it's very easy and user friendly. Whatever, guys, it's totally up to you. Why am I giving you all of that uh, bad knowledge, whatever? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that you like this video. And if you like it, then obviously hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and press that notification bell so that you never upcoming videos. And if you want a video of Blender, please comment down below. I'll make a separate video of Blender making that donut kind of animation which works. Okay, not like this, and that will look photorealistic because it is dedicated. It has render engine called Cycles. Very good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.